a 1960s ranch home that's over here in a popular neighborhood over by me. And today we're going to kind of walk you through, like we did the last home last month, and walk you through what I look for. This is a home that has potential for a, a flip for an investor, or somebody could buy this, move into it, and get their own. But I guess we're going to see. Anyway, we'll take you around the outside here, kind of show you what I have my clients look for as well if they're buying a home, and what you should look for as well when you're out looking, especially these older homes and the things I'm going to show you here. So anyway, let's get to it. So anyway, they poured new concrete at this property, which is nice. So you're not going to have to worry about having concrete if you were taking this home on as a project or your own. Out here in Colorado, concrete tends to, it's always cracked. So if you buy a home out here in Colorado, you have to just expect the concrete to crack, and that's probably what happened to this driveway. But as you can see, they have a nice sidewalk there. The yard's nice. This home has great curb appeal for starters. So when we're walking up to the house, like we have, you can just see this home has nice curb appeal. So you're not going to have to start out with doing landscaping, because like I tell people, if you're flipping homes, you get nothing out of landscaping except it helps with the resale. Now this home has had new gutters supposedly. The roof, I guess, is newer and exterior paint. And again, we'll walk you around the house, show you the things you should look for, especially in these older homes. That can be a problem. But yes, you can tell that the paint is fairly fresh on this. But anyway, let's go take a look inside and give you a tour of this home. And again, this is in a great neighborhood close to where I live. And by the way, I'll try to get to questions here. Last time I did this was all new. Just trying to get this technology figured out on this. But anyway, again, if anybody that knows me, I enjoy, or I collect old cars, and I love houses that just have the old school look. And this one's kind of a mix and match. Has some older carpet here, as you can see. Now the windows in this home have been replaced, so you're not going to have to worry about windows in this house, which is a great thing. And when you're buying homes, especially these, and like I said, this home was built in the 60s. You'll come across the old single pane windows, which are just terrible. But if a home has had windows replaced after that, I don't know what your opinions are. Everybody has them, but to me, windows are windows as long as you get good ones to start with. You don't need to go out and break the bank with Anderson windows and all of that. But this is nice. The windows have been changed. Also, one thing about these older homes, the texture on the wall, this one has a slight stomp texture, I call it. So it's not bad. You'll see some of these homes where that's a really, sorry about the glare, a real heavy texture, and it just looks bad. The ceilings in these older homes are sometimes pretty cool to look at. They have their own texture and stuff. This one still is the stomp texture, so more of a modern look. But we do have a fireplace here, and it's a real wood burning fireplace. And one of the things when you're buying older homes is you get that. And for people that want a real wood burning fireplace, it's the only way you're going to get it, because nowadays they won't let you do that anymore. So anyway, this home has a good wood burning fireplace. The bones look good so far. Again, we'll give you a tour of this as if I'm with my clients too. And the one thing I want to tell you guys, when you're looking at old homes, gosh, sorry about the glare. You always want to have one of these flashlight to look around, as the lighting in these homes is different. Sometimes you want a tape measure to measure out rooms and so forth. It depends what your overall objective is on the house, but I never leave home without my flashlight. So anyway, let's keep looking around here. So some of the switches have been changed out. I prefer these rocker switches when I'm redoing homes. This home though is kind of mix and match, and I'll show you once we get going. Got the hallway wall light there, kind of what the old homes had. And this home is kind of an in-betweener. It's been updated to a point, like this shower. Looks like they've put in a kit. I mean, it's nice. The tub's nice. You could take the surround out around here and put some nice tile in here and just really update this. Sorry, you got to see me in the mirror here. The vanities. One thing you'll know on the older houses is look how low these are, and that's typical with these homes. And the things I tell my clients too, what you can do with these. I mean, it's simple. They make those pre-made vanities. I mean, if you want to go to Home Depot, Lowe's, Floor and Decor out here has some good stuff. And you can get something good just to pop in there. And you don't have to spend a lot of money. I would take the mirror out and put some separate oval shaped mirrors here. Sometimes they have some cool square mirrors that I've used in the past. But like I said, there's a lot of potential here, not a lot you have to do to break the bank. I mean, you could move into this home and kind of make it your own as you're going along. Now here we have a bedroom, obviously, and the rooms in some of these older older homes, been a long week. They're fairly small. And if you look here, this has the old school switch here yet. And another thing you're going to notice throughout the house, the plugs are not the normal ones that a lot of you are used to seeing. And this home being built in the 60s, this right here, you'll see this a lot of going all over the place, but they probably put that in so they could have a lamp in here. It had a 3-prong plug. I don't have my wire or my electrical tester with me, but if you go and get one of those, you put it in, I bet this thing's not grounded. So that's a lot of what people do in these older homes with these 2-prong outlets. And because this home was built in early 60s, there's a chance there could be aluminum wiring in this house. This home's right at 1960, so I'd say it's going to be 50-50 on that I've seen as far as that goes. We're in the other bedroom here, and again, just a smaller bedroom, which is typical for these homes. It does have, pretty nice doors. So if you didn't want to spend the money on doors, you could repaint those. I'd put some new hardware on. That's got to go. The closet doors as well. Just need some paint. So really, like I said, this home's kind of an in-betweener to a point. It's had some updating, and you'll always see these things in these older homes. The old cabinets built in at the end of the hallway. Always there are cool features back in the days when they built homes to last. Again, these doors, these are solid wood. I'd try to keep those. Again, if I buy this house for a project, I'd probably paint those. We do have newer windows. And a trick to tell on the windows, how old they are, at times you'll see a sticker up in the sill somewhere, or they'll put the dates on the corners of the glass. So just look for that too. Sometimes it's not on there, but hopefully if you're looking, you kind of have an eye for that, or you're working with an agent that can walk you through that as well, how to look for that. Oh, and another bonus, we have forced air. I don't know how many of you have homes with non, baseboard and so forth. I guess I'd like to know, do you prefer baseboard or forced air? I know a lot of people out here in Colorado, they prefer forced air. That way you can have central air conditioning and so forth. If you have baseboards, you cannot have uh, central air. So anyway, I'll get that out. Another thing, gosh, you guys are probably tired of looking at me. Again, the vanity on the over here in the primary bedroom. This is a smaller primary bedroom, by the way. And again, this is how they did it in the 60s. Check out these cool curtains and the lights. This thing again, I'd pull this out, obviously, get rid of the mirror. You could definitely put some different fixtures in up here. It does have some build-ins, just like what they did in the 60s. Now, again, there's a lot of things you can do with these homes, but it's going to cost you money if you wanted to make these bigger, because a lot of people want to have a big bathroom, especially in the primary. And take note of this, if you're looking at an older home and you see these valves like this, these are no longer allowed. You'll notice nowadays they just have the one shower valve. So if you change the tile in here, that is something that you'd need to do. I'd even take the shower head, and I always raise them up. I always like them nice and tall, and I put this one's almost at the right height. I like to have it a little higher than that, but again, needs a little love here. Better grab my tools. Anyway, we got any questions yet or anything? Hopefully everybody can hear. Hopefully we have internet connection. It's pretty spotty over here where I'm at. So please let me know if you're having a hard time hearing me, or maybe you don't want to hear me. Now for the important feature, the kitchen. This is a smaller kitchen, and this is how they did it back in the 60s as well. This railing is going to get called out by any home inspector. I mean, it's been this way since the house was built. But nowadays, if people are buying this, they have families, this thing will not work. I mean, it's not even very high either. But you can see these cabinets, they're in decent shape. So if you're buying this home to kind of make it your own, you didn't want to break the bank or anything, you could paint these. And I caution you, if you're going to paint these, look it up, and if you're going to do it yourself, and understand how to do this correctly. I'm sure a lot of you out there have seen what bad cabinets look like when they're painted. I mean, they just look bad if they're not prepped properly. These are in good shape. I would paint these if I was going to keep them. Always add hardware to them. That's always a big thing that makes the kitchen look more updated. Obviously, the appliances are older. Just by adding some appliances to this, you could throw some granite on top. For this kitchen, probably wouldn't even cost you up to $3,000 to do it. My guy could do this for $2,000 to $3,000 with a sink, throw up a backsplash, paint these, put some new hardware on, obviously a new sink with a nice faucet. And this kitchen will look good. I mean, you could tile the floor or do some vinyl plank. We have some hardwood flooring, which I'll be showing you here soon. But one thing you don't want to do is just have a ton of mix and match flooring. This home, I believe it has original hardwoods under this carpet. So if I were listing this house right now, I'd probably pull the carpet up and show the hardwoods. A lot of people like to have those. Another thing that the older homes will have, which you see here, the washer and dryer are on, or I should say in the kitchen usually, on homes of this age. And that's just how they did it back then. So unfortunately, this takes up a lot of space in the kitchen, but it is such an easy thing to convert to put in the basement if you want. I know a lot of people nowadays want the main floor washer and dryer, but in a home like this, usually what we do when we're doing a project, I'll just take these out, put something in the basement, and we'll just make this kitchen larger. And I would take this wall out. And again, you see this kind of a panel in an older home. This is going to get called by the home inspectors every time. And this is a Federal Pacific panel. And again, these panels have been here since this home was built in 1960. But an inspector will call this out every time. I don't care. That's going to happen. These are always a negotiations thing. I can usually get my electricians to replace these between $2,500 and $5,000. It just depends. It depends on what they got to do. But usually they'll kill this panel. They'll put a panel on the exterior of the home and bring this up to today's standards. But just make note of this if you're looking at an older house, especially. Sorry about the glare. You see this panel, it's going to get called. You might as well use that as a negotiation tool when you're buying it. So just make note of that. And again, like I said earlier, a lot of the older homes, they have wood floors, real hardwoods. These look like they could be salvaged. Probably just need a little sanding and staining. It doesn't look like there's too much harm to these things. It might be questionable over there. There is original hardwood supposedly under this carpet. But you can also pull the carpet up and you can just run vinyl plank flooring over too. I've seen people do that. So anyway, that's the one feature that I really like these older homes too, is that usually they have the hardwood floors. Check out these doors, huh? We'll get you out there in a bit. These old toggle switches, again, need updated. Has all the 2-prong outlets all around, which, again, an electrician, just so you know, I don't know where you're at and everything. Out here, I can usually get plugs changed if I need to hire it out. It's like $20 to $25 a plug, but the electrician has their minimum trip charge too. So it's not like they're going to come out and do these for $20 to $25. You're probably looking at least a $300 to $500 trip charge. Again, depending where you are. Any electricians out there, you can give me some comments and let me know where you're at and how much you charge for your trip fee. But anyway, it's not a big deal to change those out. And let's go down into the basement and check it out. Let me grab my tools here. Got the nice posh blue carpet on the stairs. Wow, look at the paneling and the floor here. This is old school, isn't it? Check out the fireplace. This home actually has 2 fireplaces. That's kind of cool. And one thing to note, again, on older homes when you're looking at them, if you see a floor like this, you'll see a lot of these. Sometimes they're green and black. But if the tiles look like this, you may want to make note that if you're going to rip these up, you may want to have them tested. They could have potentially asbestos in these tiles. And you don't